When I was 16 years old, my sister was diagnosed with cancer that was not curable. And I remember my my mom and dad had explained cancer at an earlier point when my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer, and it was like, okay, so you've got cells that are growing uncontrollably and take over and eventually, kill the body, so that things are totally out of whack. And it was so hard to deal with the thought of somebody. She was 2 years older than me, and she'd just come into her own. She had just sort of discovered who she was and fell in love with a guy and gone off to college and was really enjoying life. And it's how do you comprehend the cancer? I mean, just really tough stuff. And I quickly reached the conclusion that there was nothing I could do about cancer in her body. I felt hopeless in that regard. But the way I understood cancer, and just in looking at the world around me, and the time, this was 1970, was that humankind was cancer, that we were very much cancer to the body of the earth. We were growing and saying, without any respect for other systems, without any respect for the impact we were having on the greater whole. So, though I resolved that I could not address her cancer, I felt like the thing I could do in honor of her was to not be cancer to the planet, to serve as an example and to live a life consistent with, as much as possible, being aware of the impact that I have on the planet, to limit my resources, and to pretty much be committed to a life of being an environmentalist. Interestingly, midway through college, I was very involved in anti-nuclear stuff and other environmental issues, and had the opportunity to do a review of literature of every single thing that was published in popular press about nuclear power. Like from 1955 to at that point 70. And they all ended with, but we don't have any choice, but we need the energy, but our economy will suffer. And it was like, at that point, that one research project, I remember thinking, it's not effective to be against things. That no matter what I do in my life to be an advocate for the environment, if you don't address what I saw as an incredible addiction to energy, a incredible addiction to our economic system, if you're not able to be for something in a positive light, that I wouldn't be effective. And it was at that point that I decided that energy efficiency, and to some extent, not just energy efficiency, but a broader sense of sustainability, even though I don't think sustainability was a word then, but that alternatives were what I wanted to commit my life to, both on a personal level and on a professional level. So that was the beginning of my lifelong journey of a commitment to being an example, helping to support other people in recognizing how we can basically contribute to a healthier planet, and really challenge the assumption that we can't afford to not consume. So that was the beginning of my commitment to be consistent between my personal life and my professional life, and to demonstrate and to support others, and to be as much as possible an example of challenging the assumption that we had no choice. That instead, to demonstrate that the choice we have is a very positive future, that the idea of living in a way that's in harmony with the systems that we depend on is a far better choice than the lie or the distorted view, the myth that we absolutely need to consume in order to survive.